在这里提醒大家，你们的手机有调为震动或者关机吗？请大家留意一下你们自己的手机有没有调为震动或者关机，或者在静音，因为你们的那个网络是开着，所以呢，希望你们保持这个静音。谢谢大家的合作。西雅图雷藏寺周六同修南无莲华生大士本尊法开始，请大家恭敬合掌，恭迎法王圣尊莲生活佛，请大家默念莲花童子经咒。 师母好，大家好。顶礼根本传承上师及坛城三宝。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
We just welcome our lineage root guru of True Buddha School, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sheng, to enter into the temple hall. We just made prostration to the root guru and the three jewels of the altar.
请师母上座，请仁波切诸位上师上座，教授师法师请上座，讲师助教贵宾同门善信大德请就座。
We are inviting Sumo, Rinpoche, Dharma Masters, Venerables, and all participants to please be seated.
依照雷藏寺往常的惯例，请第一次
According to
来
the
或很
custom
久
at
没
the
有来
Seattle
参加
Temple,
同修的同
we are
门，暂时
inviting
来
any
自
of
我
you
介
who's
绍
here for
您
the
的
very
法
first
号和
time
来自的国
or have
家
not
及
been
道
here for a
场。
very long
我
time, to
们
please
先
stand
从
up and
龙
introduce
边
yourself.
开
You
始。
may say your name and where you came from.
Hello, my name is Preston, and I'm from Sacramento, California. Very excited to be here.
Welcome。
Hello, my name is Prakash. I'm originally from India, in Redmond for 20 years.
Welcome。
My name is Shankar Liu. I came here with my husband, Prakash, also from Redmond, Washington.
Welcome。
Hello, my name is Sylvia, and I'm from Poland. I'm happy to be here.
Wow. Welcome。
My name is Dorota. I'm also from Poland. Thank you.
Welcome。 龙边还有吗？站起来。
师尊好，我们是从家教尊生来，但是过来。
We came from the Vijaya Temple in Oakland, California.
欢迎你们一家人啊。还有要自我介绍的吗？请站起来。
Please stand up.
师尊好，师母好，歌子红法人家好，大家好，我们是从多伦多来，
We came from Toronto, Canada.
欢迎你们哦。还有吗？要自我介绍的，要站起来
Welcome.
哦。龙边如果没有的话，就传到虎边。虎边这边有要自我介绍的吗？请站起来。
师尊好，师母
Yes.
好，各位上师好，大家好，我是莲花秋芳助教，来自德国冉志堂。
I came from Germany.
欢迎助教。还有吗？好，传到后面。
Pass the microphone to the back.
师尊好，师母好，我是莲花伟生，来自卡加利白云上师。
I came from Calgary, Canada.
要欢迎你常来
It's been
哦。
20 years since I came back here.
还有要自我介绍的吗？让我们以热烈的掌声欢迎世界各地的众上师、教授、
Let's
师法师、
welcome
讲
all
师、助教、贵
participating
宾、我们
masters,
大德来参加
venerables,
同
and
修。
participants from all
同
over
修
the
南
world.
无莲花
The
生
group
大
practice
士
tonight
本
is
法
of
开
Guru
示开展
Padmasambhava.
丸子
Clap twice and snap your fingers to
观想
awaken the
生活中
deities.
传承。
Visualize True Buddha lineage.
南
Namo
无
Vairocana
佛
Buddha,
念
Namo
佛
Buddha
南无阿弥
Lokana,
陀
Namo
佛
Amitabha
南无
Buddha,
莲花
Namo
童子
Padma
南无
Kumara,
莲生佛
Namo
陀
Living Buddha
观想
Lian
师
Sheng.
尊以诸佛菩
Visualize
萨
Grandmaster
作
and
地
all
放光
Buddhas
加
and
持，
Bodhisattvas
此
radiating
莲花
light to
童
bless
子
us.
经
Recite
咒
the
七
Guru
遍
mantra
：Om
seven
Guru 莲
times.
生悉地吽，Om Guru 莲生悉地吽，Om Guru 莲生悉地吽，Om Guru 莲生悉地吽，Om Guru 莲生悉地吽 Om Guru Niệm Xưng Siddhi Hồng. Om Guru Niệm Xưng Siddhi Hồng.
Recite purification mantras and the Atheti mantra.
Siêu đi Maha siêu đi siêu siêu đi Soha. Om siêu đô đi siêu mô đi Soha. Om Vajratan Hờ Hờ Hồng. Nam mô Samanto Motoran. Om Turu Turu Deve Soha.
Recite invocation mantra.
Om A Hom Soha. Om A Hom Soha. Om A Hom Soha.
We sincerely invoke the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian, the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian, the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian, the main deity of the group practice, Guru Padmasambhava, the main deity of the group practice, Guru Padmasambhava, the main deity of the group practice, Guru Padmasambhava, Namo Vairocana Buddha at the center, Namo Akshoba Buddha to the east, Namo Amitabha Buddha to the west, Namo Ratnasambhava Buddha to the south, Namo Amoghasiddhi Buddha to the north, Namo Asakya Muni Buddha, Namo Medicine Buddha, Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jitpan, Namo Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, Namo Padma Kumara, Namo Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva, Namo Manjushri Bodhisattva, Namo Maitreya Bodhisattva, Namo Vajrasattva, Namo Mahajundi Buddha Mother, all Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakanis, and divinities, all Buddhas of the three types in the 10 directions, all Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas, Namo Mahaprajna Paramita. Great homage using visualization for the student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for procession on the ground, do this mudra. Second, to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for procession on the ground, do this mudra. Third, to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for procession on the ground, do this mudra. Fourth, Thapa. Great mandala offering, from the offering mudra, visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole space. Make the offering above to the lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, all the main deity of the group practice, Guru Padmasambhava, and all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakanis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, 4 continents and sun and moon, transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and merits purge our karma to all of our civilization. Om Sawa Tathagata Yitamu Gurunana Menzana Kandiniye Tahiyami. For fourth refuge, visualize our lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Recite the refuge mantra. Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Armor protection. From Vajraklapsa mudra, recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times. Om Bodhi Ranjari, 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 Om Bodhi Ranjari. Recite Hiking Guan Yin Sutra. First, the invocation of the 8 great Bodhisattvas. Namo Mila Pusa Mohasa. Namo Shikong Zang Pusa Mohasa. Namo Puxian Pusa Mohasa. Namo Jinggang Shou Pusa Mohasa. Namo Miao Ji Xiang Pusa Mohasa. Namo Chu Gai Zhang Pusa Mohasa. Namo Di Zhang Wang Pusa Mohasa.
南无诸尊菩萨摩诃萨，观世音菩萨，南无佛，南无法，南无僧。佛国有缘，佛法相应，常乐我净，有缘佛法。南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是大神咒，南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是大明咒，南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是无上咒，南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是无等等咒。南无净光明密佛，法藏佛，狮子吼神诸幽王佛，佛告须弥灯王佛，法护佛，金刚藏狮子游戏佛，宝胜佛，神通佛，药师琉璃光王佛，普光功德三王佛，善住功德宝王佛，过去七佛，未来现劫千佛，1500佛，万物千佛，500花生佛，100亿金刚藏佛。光佛，六方六佛名号，东方宝光月殿月妙尊音王佛，南方树根花王佛，西方早晚神通焰花王佛，北方月殿清净佛，上方无数精进宝手佛，下方善济月音王佛，无量诸佛，多宝佛，释迦牟尼佛，弥勒佛，阿处佛，弥陀佛，中央一切众生，在佛世界中者，行诸于地上，即在虚空中。此由于一切众生，各令安稳休息，昼夜修持，心常求诵此经，能灭生死苦，消除诸毒害。南无大明观世音，光明观世音，高明观世音，开明观世音，药王菩萨，药上菩萨，文殊师利菩萨，普贤菩萨，虚空藏菩萨，地藏王菩萨，清凉宝山亿万菩萨，普光王如来花生菩萨，念念诵此经，七佛世尊即说咒曰：尼波尼波地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，尼诃那地。尼地摩诃迦地，真灵真地，娑哈尼波尼波地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，尼诃那地。宾尼地摩诃迦地，真灵真地，娑哈尼波尼波地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，尼诃那地。宾尼地摩诃迦地，真灵真地，娑哈尼波尼波地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，尼诃那地。宾尼地摩诃迦地，真灵真地，娑哈尼波尼波地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，尼诃那地。宾尼地摩诃迦地，真灵真地，娑哈尼波尼波地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，尼诃那地。宾尼地摩诃迦地，真灵真地，娑哈尼波尼波地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，尼诃那地。宾尼地摩诃迦地，真灵真地，娑哈十方观世音，一切诸菩萨，誓愿救众生，称名悉解脱。若有智慧者，因情为解说，但是有因缘，读诵口不错，诵经满千遍，念念心不绝。火焰不能伤，刀兵力摧者，慧怒生欢喜，死者变成佛。莫言此事虚，诸佛不忘说。高往观世音，能救诸苦厄，临危急难中，死者变成佛。诸佛语不虚，是故应顶礼。此诵满千遍，众罪皆消灭。后福坚信者，专攻受此经，愿以此功德普及于一切。诵满1000遍，众罪皆消灭。高往观世音经中。共念7遍往生
You say
咒。
deliverance
南无
mantra 7
阿弥
times.
陀佛耶，多他伽多耶，多地亚他，阿弥尼多波比，阿弥尼多舍旦波比，阿弥尼多比迦南地，阿弥尼多比迦南多，迦弥尼迦迦那，揭多迦尼娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他伽多耶，多地亚他，阿弥尼多波比，阿弥尼多舍旦波比，阿弥尼多比迦南地。阿弥尼多比迦南多，迦弥尼迦迦那，揭多迦尼娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他伽多耶，多地亚他，阿弥尼多波比，阿弥尼多舍旦波比，阿弥尼多比迦南地，阿弥尼多比迦南多，迦弥尼迦迦那，揭多迦尼娑哈。 Nam mô A Di Đà Phật Ye Tô Tha Ca Tô Ye Tô Đề Ya Tha A Mi Ni Tô Bảo Bì A Mi Ni Tô Sơ Tam Bảo Bì A Mi Ni Tô Bì Ca Nan Tê A Mi Ni Tô Bì Ca Nan Tô Ca Ni Ni Ca Ca Na Chỉ Tô Ca Ni So Ha Nam mô A Di Đà Phật Ye Tô Tha Ca Tô Ye Tô Đề Ya Tha A Mi Ni Tô Bảo Bì A Mi Ni Tô Sơ Tam Bảo Bì A Mi Ni Tô Bì Ca Nan Tê A Mi Ni Tô Bì Ca Nan Tô Ca Ni Ni Ca Ca Na Chỉ Tô Ca Ni So Ha Nam mô A Di Đà Phật Ye Tô Tha Ca Tô Ye Tô Đề Ya Tha A Mi Ni Tô Bảo Bì A Mi Ni Tô Sơ Tam Bảo Bì A Mi Ni Tô Bì Ca Nan Tê A Mi Ni Tô Bì Ca Nan Tô Ca Ni Ni Ca Ca Na Chỉ Tô Ca Ni So Ha Nam mô A Di Đà Phật Ye Tô Tha Ca Tô Ye Tô Đề Ya Tha A Mi Ni Tô Bảo Bì A Mi Ni Tô Sơ Tam Bảo Bì A Mi Ni Tô Bì Ca Nan Tê A Mi Ni Tô Bì Ca Nan Tô Ca Ni Ni Ca Ca Na Chỉ Tô Ca Ni So Ha
Form Padmakumara Mudra. Visualize the empowerment of the three lights by Padmakumara. Recite Padmakumara mantra 21 times.
Om Guru Nian Seng Siddhi Hom. 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 Om Guru Nian Seng Siddhi Hom.
Form Padmasambhava Vajra Mudra. First empty your mind. Recite Sunyata mantra.
Sutta Sarva Dharma Swabhava Sutto Hang. Om Swabhava Sutta Sarva Dharma Swabhava Sutto Hang. Om Swabhava Sutta Sarva Dharma Swabhava Sutto Hang.
In the sky, visualize a blue moon disk rising from the glorious copper mountain of the inconceivable palace of lotus light at the Guru Padmasambhava's pure land. At the center of the moon disk, there is a red six-syllable she, radiating a bright pink light. The six-syllable she revolves to become Guru Padmasambhava. Wearing a crown, his whole body is light pink. His right hand is holding a Vajra scepter, and his left arm is clutching on a kachanka. He is sitting in a half-lotus position on a lotus throne in the sky above. His left hand is holding a skull cup filled with ambrosia and treasures. Visualize a six-syllable Om at our crown chakra, radiate at our brow chakra, radiating white light. Ah at our throat chakra, radiating red light, and Hom at our heart chakra, radiating blue light. These three lights reach the inconceivable palace of lotus light at the glorious copper mountain to invoke Guru Padmasambhava. Then visualize Guru Padmasambhava's whole body radiates brilliant precious light which merges with the ambrosia and urges upon us, purging all sins and karma, illnesses and demonic obstructions until they are completely gone, to allow the emergence of our radiance and self-mastery. Set Padmasambhava Hat Mantra 108 times. First perform Mala visualization. Recite the mantra.
Om Guru Pema Siddhi Hong Se. Om Ahom Guru Pema Siddhi Hong Se. Om Ahom Guru Pema Siddhi Hong Se. Om Ahom Pejaguru Pema Siddhi Hom Se 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 Om Ahom Peta Guru 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 Pema Siddhi Hom Se 做9节佛风有
Perform 9 cycle Buddha breathing, enter into samadhi. If you're not trained in 9 cycle Buddha breathing, you can just breathe slowly, softly, and deeply.
加持八大本尊心咒及念
Said the heart mantras of the eight principal deities.
Om Mani Padme Hum Om Panamo Ninko Ning Soha Om Ha 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 Wei Samaye Soha Om Zali Zuli Sun Te Soha Om Zambala Salam Salaye Soha Om A Hom Beja Guru Bema Siti Hom Se Om A Hom Guru Be Ah Sasamaha Lien Shen Siti Hom Địa Tha Om Beka Zaya Beka Zaya Maha Beka Zaya Raja Samo Kyade Soha Namo 36万亿一水万千千佛法，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛。
with the same
南
name
无
identification
36万亿一水
Home
万
which
千千
36
佛法，
trillion
阿弥陀佛，阿
119,500
弥陀
Buddhas with the
佛。
same name
南无
identification
36万
Amitabha.
亿一水
Home
万
which
千
36
千
trillion
佛法，阿弥陀佛，
119,500
阿
Buddhas with
弥
the same
陀
name
佛。
identification Amitabha.
请大家起念，请佛注释祈愿文。
Recite the supplication of the Buddhas who stay in the Soul world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the Virtuous Marvelous Tantrika, all Buddhas of the 10 directions of Buddha lands, numerous screens of set, all Bodhisattvas who are full of compassion to all beings, all Harikas, Dhammapas, Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, 3 poisons are proliferating, my body and soul are stricken, tumbling in misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage its deluded ones. 3 jewels, amulet, wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciple of Buddha plead that you stay in the Soul world to turn the Dhamma world to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Recite the longevity Buddha mantra 108 times. And dedicate the merit to the longevity and health of our Guru.
Om Amanoni Juvendi Soha. 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 Om Amanoni Juvendiye 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 Soha. 回向，
Merit
愿同
dedication.
念佛
May all
者
uphold
同
the
生
Buddha,
极
ascend
乐
to the
国，
realm of
上报
utmost
四
bliss,
重
repaying
恩，下
fourfold
济
jhana
三途
cities from
苦，
above,
见
aiding
佛
those in the
了
three
生
realms
死，如
below.
佛度一
Upon seeing
切。
the Buddha,
弟
may we
子众
transcend
等
life
愿
and
以
death.
此
Like the
同修
Buddha, may
功
we
德
liberate
回
all.
向，祈
We
愿
dedicate
圣
the merit
尊
of this good
佛
practice
体
to
安
our
康，
lineage root
长
Guru.
寿
May you
自
stay
在，
healthy,
常
live a
住
long
世
life,
间，
continually stay in
永
samsara
转
to
法
turn the
轮。
Dharma wheel.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活
Inviting our
佛
lineage
作
root
众
Guru,
回向。
His Holiness Living Buddha Liansung, to perform the overall merit dedication. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Guru Rinpoche. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Guru Rinpoche. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Guru Rinpoche. We pray that you radiate light and guide the Bardu spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha lands. We pray that you bless all participants so that their karma be eradicated,
消除，
their worries and afflictions be eradicated,
消除
their ego attachment be eradicated.
病业消除，
May all karmic sicknesses
体
be
现加
eradicated.
持，
We
资
pray
粮增长，
that you bestow
资费
with increased resources
敬爱，
and enhance wisdom, harmony,
体现莲
love
花
and
大士
respect. We pray to Guru Padmasambhava,
仁波切
the Guru Rinpoche,
放大光，
to please radiate bright light,
加持一会大众，
to bless all participants here
吉祥如意，
with fulfilled wishes and auspiciousness. Tasitere.
让众的在修行之中
May all of us in our
安
path of spiritual cultivation can attain peace and calmness, that we can be single-minded
能够练
and
头
focused,
不散乱，
that our mind is not distracted,
能够只剩下一个念头，
so that we can focus to only have
在
one
进
thought,
入三昧地的时候，
that when we enter into
得
samadhi,
到很好的接受。
we gain the very good spiritual experiences.
一心敬礼，
Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Guru Padmasambhava,
仁波切，
the Guru Rinpoche.
祈请降光加持，
We pray that you bless light upon all participants,
但愿所祈求的，皆
so that all of our wishes be fulfilled.
也但愿莲花生大士
We also pray that Guru Padmasambhava
做生活中的弟子，
is always
让
with true Buddha disciple and
的
protecting
保
them,
护能够
so that true Buddha school Dharma work can flourish,
也能够广度众生。
so that we can widely deliver sentient beings.
祈求人事
We pray that the interpersonal relationships can be harmonious,
敬礼
homage to Guru Padmasambhava,
入人不见，
Guru Rinpoche.
请弃除我们
Please
行者心中的贪
eradicate the greed in our mind,
嗔
as well as anger and hatred,
愚之，
and delusion and ignorance.
一切的业皆由
May all of
开
our karma starts with
始
greed
的贪，
and desire, and please eradicate them.
由于嗔能够
And due to the
将我们的
anger
心
and hatred,
整个都变成很乱，请去除
can make our thoughts chaotic. Please eradicate our anger and hatred.
由于愚之，
And
才
because
会有
of ignorance and delusion,
升起的无明，就不能够得到
that we are
真
deluded,
正的正悟。
and due to this delusion, we will not be able to gain enlightenment.
去除
So we pray to Guru Rinpoche to please eradicate our delusion and ignorance. May all of our prayers be granted. The Guru Padmasambhava, the Guru Rinpoche, and gods in heavens, gods on earth, may we be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us. Let all disasters turn into dust. May all obstruction disappear, may all enemies and enmities disappear. Recite 100 syllable mantra.
Om Peja Sato Samaya Manupanaya Peja Sato Deno Padicha Jejo Me Bawa Sudo Kayu Me Bawa Subo Kayu Me Bawa Anorato Me Bawa Sawa Sidi Me Buraya Sawa Gama Sotame Chitambo Sidi Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pejamami Mancha Pejabawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Be Om Peja Sato Samaya Manupanaya Peja Sato Deno Padicha Jejo Me Bawa Sudo Kayu Me Bawa Subo Kayu Me Bawa Anorato Me Bawa Sawa Sidi Me Buraya Sawa Karma Sotame Chittamo Sidi Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pejamami Mancha Pejabawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pe Om Peja Sato Samaya Manupanaya Peja Sato Deno Padicha Jejo Me Bawa Sudo Kayu Me Bawa Subo Kayu Me Bawa Anorato Me Bawa Sawa Sidi Me Buraya Sawa Gama Sotame Chittamo Sidi Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pejamami Mancha Pejabawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pe
Perform great procession using visualization for Sudut Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full procession on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize full procession on the ground, release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dharma protectors. Visualize full procession on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth Hakpa. Recite completion mantra. Let's give a round of applause to show our utmost gratitude to His Holiness for presiding over this group practice of Guru Padmasambhava. Now the offering of Hatha is all in our palms with reference, and we would like to invite the Venerable Silian Kwang of Seattle to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage Guru as a symbol of the highest honor.
请大家一起虔诚恭敬合掌，恭请无上法王圣尊莲生活佛做宝贵的法语开示。
Together, we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dharma teaching. Let's first pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsung Kung, the Zhong Rinpoche. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar of the Seattle Lechang Temple. Homage to the main deity of the group practice tonight, Guru Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche. Simu, Gansen Katto, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are Dr. Ryan Zong, and Dr. Su Lin, and Dr. Li, and the PR director of the True Buddha Seattle Temple, Mr. Fermi Wang. Good evening, everyone. How do you do? Today, we practiced Guru Padmasambhava's Dharma practice, or sadhana. And Guru Padmasambhava we can say that the start of Vajrayana or Tantrayana is from Guru Padmasambhava. So Guru Padmasambhava brought Vajrayana or Tantrayana to Tibet. So we could say that he's the first patriarch, and not only for the Nyingmapa that highly revere Guru Padmasambhava. Actually, all four sects of Tibetan Tantrayana, Nyingma, Gelug, Kagyu, and Sakya, highly revere Guru Padmasambhava. Because Guru Padmasambhava had built the first temple in Tibet, the Samye Monastery. And King Trisong Detjen and Santaraksita, together with Guru Padmasambhava, the great three masters. One is the king of Tibet, and the two masters together built the Samye Monastery. So he's considered the first one in Tibet. And today, because in the deity yoga, we often talk about the origin of the 8 principal deities, or their spiritual journey and their experience, and we have talked about that in the past. And our group practice all of the 8 primary deities in turn. But very few people knew about the kachanka that he holds. And what is kachanka? It's the staff with the skull cups that Guru Padmasambhava is holding. And the 3 skulls on the kachanka represents one is greed, hatred, and ignorance. So greed, anger, and delusion. And in Buddhism, we also call it as the 3 poisons. So any one of them will cause one to fall into hell. So why is the kachanka that Padmasambhava is holding striped through the 3 skulls? It symbolizes that he had retracted all his greed, anger, and delusion. So that in Guru Padmasambhava's mind, there is no greed, anger, and delusion. So we can tell that the people in this world, if an ordinary person is not a spiritual cultivator, then they would be conditioned or contaminated with greed, anger, and delusion. Non-tantrika, non-spiritual cultivation, or non-sadhaka do not have pure conduct, then they would be adulterated with greed, anger, and delusion. If you have desire or greed toward anything, I think all karma comes from greed. Greed is the most important one. Thank you. Let me share a joke first. Someone loves beautiful woman. Is that greed? Desire? Of course, yes. There's a kind of greed. This is a joke. Someone asks, what do you see first in a beautiful woman? And some people answered, face. They would see the face first. And some people say that he would see her waist, her slim waist. And some The more jerk would say, look at her breasts first.
那么也有人这样子讲，
The shameless ones.
美女之前，
And then some people
先
say,
看自己的老婆有没有
before looking at a beautiful woman, he would have to check on his wife first if his wife is watching.
然后请问各位，这个看美女
So let me ask all of you,
生的
looking at beautiful women is not just
连女生
the monopoly of man. Even woman loves looking at beautiful women, right?
你看那个像我妈妈
Like my
去
mom,
中国大陆，
my mother went to mainland China.
她说那个路上走的那个每一个都像林青霞。
All the women on the street looked like Lin Qinxia at that era.
大陆以后看到在路上走的，
In mainland China, all the women on the street looked like Lin Qinxia, which is a famous actress in Taiwan. And my mom had said, not just men loves looking at beautiful women, even women loves looking at beautiful women.
那这个是不是
My mom said that. Is that greed or desire?
是属于贪？
Of course, it is considered a kind of greed.
那怎么办呢？
So what should we do?
大家都喜欢看美女，看美女没有什么过错。
Everybody loves looking at beautiful women. There's nothing wrong with it.
但是你如果贪美女，
However,
贪美女，一个修行的人，
if you are a spiritual cultivator and holding a chanting bead, chanting the Buddha's name,
南无阿弥陀佛，
Namo Amitabha, Namo
有一个
Amitabha,
美女刚好走，
Namo Amitabha, and then a beautiful woman is walking
哇，
by.
阿弥陀佛好美，
Namo, wow,
就变成
Amitabha,
南无
so
阿弥陀
beautiful.
佛好美哦，惨了，
Oh no.
阿弥陀佛是很英俊潇洒。
Amitabha is very handsome and cool, but at the same time, he's also very dignified.
这个要破除这个贪哦，
In order to destroy
以
or
师
break
尊的
our
方法，
greed,
我的方法是这样，
according to my method, Grandmaster's
因为
method,
师尊也不为言，也不为言，我从来也不讲假话。
because
师
Grandmaster
尊
always speak frankly. I never lie. Grandmaster loves looking at beautiful women.
但是你
I always
看
tell the
多
truth.
因为你看了很多，
But after seeing so many of them,
就变成很稀松平常，
then you find it
不
ordinary.
稀罕了。
You don't find it anything
美女看多了，
extraordinary.
看了很多美女以后，
After seeing so many beautiful women,
并没有什么。
you find it that it's no big deal.
从此以后，你是看
And then, afterwards,
看内在的心，
then you check their hearts
不
and
会完
nature.
全就是你不会完全看到美女，你就变成好色之徒，不是？
So it's not
你
that
要
you
看什么
become
心？看美女看多了以后，
horny looking at beautiful women. Because you have seen so many of them, then it's become ordinary. Then you start looking at their inner self and checking at their personality. That's how I break my own greed.
不知道你们认为如何？
I don't know how you find it.
那么财呢？贪财。
And some people are greedy for
世界
money
上没有一个
and
人不贪，没
riches.
有一个人不贪财的。
Not one person is an exception.
这个贪的才厉害。
And this kind of greed
我
is
听说
incredible.
这个
I heard that in the leader of mainland China,
他们称为总书记，是吧？他也是属于总，
and he's referred as the chief secretary and also the
就是领导人。
prime minister, I suppose,
有一阵子他树
or the chairman
就是把所有的贪官污吏全部
of mainland China. But there was a period that he was
清除干净，
eradicating
贪了
corruption very severely.
不把它清除，
So
清除
he cleaned up all the corruptions very strictly.
知道他一共
And I heard
多少
that
个贪污的，
he had
新闻有报道，他一共清除了多少？
how many corrupt officials
在中国大陆
that he had
联
prosecuted.
运上司呢？知道不知道？
Master Lien Yin, do you know? What I know is from what Grandmaster says. So
这个
you're passing the ball to me. So this person is quite a jerk.
啊，你不敢承担呐、你知不知道？
You don't want to take the responsibility, do you know?
啊，400万，我有讲那么多吗？
4 million. Did I say that many?
哦，你看手机的比较准。
So it's more accurate if you check the internet.
除了多少人？
How many that they have cleaned up?
哇，你看，157万。
1.57 million.
153.7万人，怎么有点七？难道有一个人是剩下半个？
1.57
啊？
million. 0.7 person? What does it mean?
好了，好 ，OK， 1万为153万人就对了啦。清除了
1.53 million people that have been eradicated, that have been cleaned up.
官污吏把钱汇到哪里？
And
世界各地。
And all these corrupt officials send their money to all over the world. So all of a sudden, America also gained a lot of money.
经济突然间变好，
And all of a sudden, the economy here became so good.
全部涌到美国来。
It turned out that the money from mainland China flowed to America.
间房子一推出来，
So the real estate market was really high. It was so easy to sell houses.
加码买，
So when a house was on sale, the price kept going up and they bid on higher prices and they bought it on cash.
出来
And they were bought by these corrupt officials running away from mainland China, going to all over the world.
美国
And there are lots of money around. And America too became very rich all of a sudden.
有多少钱？几亿，
I heard that there were
增
billions
加了几亿美金在
or trillions of
我已经查下手机。
US dollars entering into United
可能
States.
这个
So Hui-Jin, can you check the internet?
我听来的，
I heard someone told me.
所以我们看了很简单，可以知道。
So from this we
单单
would
做
know,
官的贪污的就是这么多。所以
you
我
know,
们
the
也常
corrupt
常
money
讲一句
is already that much.
世
The Taiwanese
高
had the
世
saying,
一世做官，高世做有一世
if
当
you
官，
become an
你就要做
official
九世要当牛，
in one
九
life,
世成为
then you have to be reincarnated as cows for 9 lifetimes.
这是谈话，谈话。
It's
一
a
世
saying.
当官，
So if you ever become a government officer
贪心贪财，
in one lifetime, that you would become cows for 9 lifetimes because of your greed, that you take money, then you would have to fall into the 3 lower
台
realms.
湾呢讲说，我觉得日本
So,
日本讲
like Taiwan or in Japanese,
韩
Korean,
国人、日本人、
Koreans and Japanese
韩国
men
男人比台湾人还贪色。
want sex more than Taiwanese
因为
men
啊，以前你知道，在夏威夷的时候，那个
because
萨库拉
in Hawaii there was a Sakura Street.
在夏威夷的樱花街是日本人最多，日本人开的最多。在关岛也是一样。
Most of them were opened by Japanese, the same in
后来
Guam.
韩国人居上，
And then later on, the Koreans also have those businesses on Sakura Street.
所有色情行业，
The
日本人
red light
先
district
后来的
was first opened by the Japanese and then later by the Koreans,
这台湾的倒是比较少，
and less by
但是台湾
Taiwanese.
少是少。台湾
Although
每
it's
个人
less
越开
in
越多
Taiwan, but they have more and more motels in Taiwan.
台湾没有红灯区了，我告诉你。
There's no red light
台湾是没
district
有
in
红灯区的
Taiwan.
你说新加坡还有红灯区啊？
And even Singapore has red light district, but not in Taiwan.
台湾都是犯法的。
It's
但是都是
illegal in
偷偷摸
Taiwan,
摸地犯法
so they do it
台湾
secretly.
没有红灯区耶，
There's no red light district in Taiwan. Why?
表面上都是
Because the
有些
Taiwanese on the surface
表面上都是很
look
守
very
法的
virtuous,
其实呢
but in reality,
也不一定，因为你看
not
摩
so.
天越开越多，越开
See,
越多。
because there are more and more motels now in
台
Taiwan.
湾人呢就是要面子，
Because Taiwanese
我
love
不是讲台
to
湾人就比
present
较道德，
uh,
台湾人
good
比
image.
较要面子。连政府
I'm
也
not saying that
说
Taiwanese are
政府
more
也
virtuous,
有
they
一句话
just want
让
to
你们在
present good
系统里
image.
面找一
And
个地方做红灯区，每一个市都有红灯区，
so
每一个市的人民通通表示反对。
when the government suggested to have red light district in the cities,
然后
the
就开了
citizens
很多的
oppose. But instead, they open lots of
台湾人就是
motels
死要面子，
because
人家
Taiwanese
韩
just
国人
want to pretend to be good.
鼓励他们
Hypocrites.
就是
But in
一切都是
Japan or Korea, it's all
开放。
open, public.
所以好财、好色、
So if you
好
obsess
地
with
位
money or with sex, and next is your power or status,
贪财、
these are all considered
还
greed.
贪权力。
Greed for money, for sex, for power.
我讲过了，要治这个贪非常不容易。
It's extremely difficult to counter this greed. Let me share a joke. There's a senator that after work made a phone call to his wife and asked her to get rid of or to hide all things that's made in China from their house, because he wanted to bring 2 other senators home, and he wanted to show that he is patriotic and he wants to support Trump's trade war with China. So when he got home with the other 2 senators, he discovered that his front door disappeared. The windows also disappeared. And then inside the house, all the furnitures all disappeared. The house was empty, completely empty. And then finally, the wife coming out from the bedroom totally naked, because all her garments are made in China. Trump and China, why Trump wanted to get into trade war with China? Of course, I cannot tell the answer. I cannot say that I'm not Chinese. I was born in Taiwan. It's really difficult to say about Taiwan and China. The Taiwanese immigrated from China too. My grandfather came from Quanzhou of Fujian province. He immigrated to Kinmen and then moved to Penghu, and then from Penghu to Jiayi, Taiwan. So my father was 2nd generation and I am the 3rd generation that moved to Taiwan. So if you say Taiwan is not China, that's not quite right. But if you say Taiwan is China, it's not quite right either. But all of Taiwanese, or most of all Taiwanese, came from mainland China. And the same with America. The earliest inhabitants of America were Indians, American Indians. And all Americans came from Europe and all parts of the world. Like Columbus, when he discovered the new land, actually it's not the new land because Indians were already here. When we were little, we watched the movies, or the Western movies, they were always fightings. Have you ever watched them? And in the Western movies, there's always about Americans or American soldiers at war with the American Indians. Like the name of Seattle is actually the name of a chief in this area. So the name Seattle is the name of the chief, Indian chief. And also Tacoma is the name of an Indian chief. And we use the name of the chief to name the city. So the Americans are also immigrants, and Chinese are also immigrants. So we should undermine other immigrants because we are all immigrants. But there's the battle of the power, and first come, first serve. So if you're here first, then you treat the latecomers or as the immigrants. So that's the struggle of power. So the trade wars actually the battle on power and money. So we don't want to talk about the trade war. What are they fighting for? Power and money. So that's still considered greed. So between countries, they fight for territories. Like the Civil War in America between the North and the South, what was it for? Power and money. Of course, for the people too. But it's because of money and power. It's all the same. And the Korean War between the North and South Korea, also for the power and money. So the Korean War, or the Vietnam War too, between North and South Vietnam. They're all about power and money. And the trade war too is about power and money now. Only for the true sage, everybody else cannot run away from power, money, and sex. And that's greed, anger, and delusion. And your anger and hatred can create wars. And delusion includes all sorts of ignorance. And the greatest ignorance is that everything is gone once a person dies. This was what the Buddha said in Buddhism. The greatest ignorance is that when one thinks that everything is gone when one dies. Because Buddhism talks about cause and effect and also karmic transgressions and retributions. So whatever you have done in this life will create what you will be in the future life. So the Kachanka that Guru Padmasambhava holds in his arm symbolizes that he had destroyed greed, anger, and delusion. Like for Grandmaster, about money, Grandmaster has always abided by this precept that in his Dharma work, Dharma propagation, refuge, anything, any Dharma work, Grandmaster never set a price and never asked for any money for it. The offering is always voluntary. This is a precept that I keep. As a spiritual cultivator,
会属于你自己的金钱，你当然可以拥有。
of course, you can get money that's supposed to be
你就
yours.
不能当
However, if it's not supposed to be
不是属
yours,
于你的金钱，你就不能够
if you don't deserve it, then you should not try to get it.
所以我们不能当什么？当 thief，
So we should not become thieves.
不能当 robber。
And we should not become robbers.
小偷嘛，小偷是不是 ？thief。Lobo， 强盗，我是 thief。
Thieves and robbers. Robbers. Steve and Robert.
人的名字 thief，
So that's how I remember it. So Steve becomes thieves. Thieves become Steve. I mean, that's how I remember it.
对，就是你不能当小偷跟
So you should not become a thief or a robber.
小偷跟强盗。这日本人很奇怪啊，日本人，
It's very
你看日本
strange
这个国家哈，
that
它的
Japan
治安会很好。为什么治安会很好？
has great security.
他们小学
And
的时
why?
候教育
Because in their education, in the elementary school,
他们有教公民，
they always teach
公民，你要做一个公民，基本上的公民，
to be a good
别
citizen,
人的东西
that you should not
你千万
take
不能拿，
what
不能动
belongs to other people. You should not
别人
become a
别
thief.
人身上的钱你不能抢，不能
You should
当
not rob other people's money.
他
You
们
should
有
not
这
become
样
a
子的
robber.
教育，所以日本的治安就很好。
That's why the security in Japan is very good. It's very safe in Japan. That's why Japan is a good
他们真的
place
是做
to
到这一点。
travel
对
because they really have done that.
做
This
事情
point.
好像小时候，台湾小时候受日本教育的就知道，
If you have received Japanese education in Taiwan, you would know that every morning when you
用
get up,
水
then you would water to spray, and you use your sweep to sweep your own yard,
口的那一段也扫干净，
and also the part of the road in front of your house.
看不到垃圾。但是日
Then
本
you
人
don't
喜
see
欢抽烟
garbage in
在
Japan,
工地就不算垃圾。
but Japanese loves to smoke, so the cigarette butts are not considered
喝
garbage
酒、抽烟，
because Japanese loves to smoke and drink.
其他的全部通通都要扫干净。
So cigarette butts are not considered garbage, but you have to sweep
日本
everything
人有他
else.
日本人的本身的好的这个品德。
So Japanese
我们
has
小时候
their
受
own
教育也有
virtues.
公民课，后来听说公民课有
So when we were little, we also have a class on civic rights
贪财
and
一
citizenship.
定要记
But
住
now it's
我们
already
行
gone
政
in
就
Taiwan.
是要记住
So as a spiritual cultivator, we want to eradicate our greed, anger,
没
and
有全
delusion.
身都是水，已经都是水了。
Please put a fan here. I'm all wet already.
天气很热，
I cannot bear heat very well
因为刚刚提到这个贸易战，
because we were talking about trade war earlier. That's why I was
哎
sweating
这世界大事啊，
because
世界
that's
大事啊，
that's a
我不知道
major
怎么讲，
problem of the world. I don't know what to say.
但是事实上真的也是在争权力。
But in reality, it was the battle about power and money.
这世界上都是国家跟国家，
In this world, between countries
家族跟家族，
or between clans
另外还有人跟人
or between people
公司的竞争，
or between companies or in elections, they're all about competitions
所以
and
我们出
fightings.
家人就是方外之士。
So as the monks and nuns, we are
贪
apart from the mundane world.
收拾
Each one of us should hold that kachanka, and we should keep in control our greed, anger, and delusion, especially that anger. It's very, very difficult to find Grandmaster losing his temper, like striking the desk or pointing fingers. It's very difficult. Grandmaster does not want to lose his temper.
实在是看不过去了。
If I really cannot bear it anymore, then I would probably say something, reprimand something. It's very rare. It's extremely rare to see Grandmaster angry or losing temper or a very angry face. It's
世间上的这个名
everything is very easy,
对世间
lightly.
上的这个
About a name and position and fame and greed. It's very, very light.
我们行者就是要这样。
So as spiritual cultivator, we should be like that. We should purify our own mind. Then that's purifying our own karma. This is very important.
那我讲这个莲花生大师的卡唱卡，
I was talking about the kachanka of Guru Padmasambhava. And the first one at the top, the skull, represented greed, and the second one represented anger, and the third one represented ignorance.
人其实也是愚痴的。
Human beings are ignorant, extremely ignorant.
我们知道这个人生的价值，
Now we know the value of human lives, and you strive for the
清净的生活，
for the value of life, and you should strive for the pure life
成为圣人，
and strive to be reborn in the Pure Land
都是要想
and to strive to become a sage. You have to eradicate the three poisons: greed, anger, and delusion or ignorance.
那我们再讲这个
Now let's continue to talk about
一点道果，
Lamdre a little bit.
特殊净信殊胜上师，
Maintaining extraordinary faith in the Supreme
甚
Guru.
深道上师为
The
言，
profound Guru is perfect
作利益
due to the real practice
强烈信
with strong faith and understanding in the merciful Guru, who is no different from the Vajra holder.
五色光
One prays to the five-colored light screen on top of the lotus throne,
典籍，也
which is seated on top of our crown
做起
in the daytime and at the center of our hearts at
从来
night.
不换任何三昧雅之缘起，
As soon as the supreme reverence and faith arise, it is the start of the affinity of maintaining any samaya.
十四大戒的第一
So this talks about that we have to abide by the first precept of the 14 root downfalls
甚
precepts.
深道上师为圆满。
So it's mentioned here, the profound Guru is perfect. Your lineage root Guru has walked the path of the spiritual cultivation, that he has made the
已
journey.
经跟本尊相应了，
He has been in spiritual union with the Yidam or the main deity.
这个修行他已经有了正果了，
that he has gained fruition in his spiritual cultivation.
他已经亲自证
He
明
has
了
personally confirmed.
根本上师就是这样的。
Lineage
修
root
行
guru
这一
is
条
like
路
this,
他已经得到了某一些的成就，
that he has some fruition in this spiritual cultivation, may not be all of them and may not be the ultimate fruition, but he has attained some fruition. Then that's
这个上师呢，
the profound
已经
guru
得到圆满的
that is
成就，
perfect.
他已经走到最
So
深
when
的
the
那一
guru
方面，
has attained perfect
是一般的
attainment,
一般的上师，一般
and
的
a
上师
guru has entered into the profundity, so that's not just any ordinary guru or
他已
masters,
经亲近
because
了
they are still cultivating. But a profound,
他已
perfect
经能够
guru
跟本尊
has been completely pure, has been in
他
union
已
with the
经可
yidam,
以到了净土了，
and he has been to the Pure Land,
他已经有果位了。
and he has
这
attained
个叫做
fruition.
甚深道的上师，是比较
Then
圆
he
满的
would
上
be
师
referred as the
圆满的
supreme,
上师
profound, and
以
perfect
实
guru.
作利益故，他是实修者，
And he is a real cultivator,
帮助所有
a
的众生。
cultivator who has truly practiced that is able to benefit
这
sentient
个时
beings.
候呢，你强烈的信解记恩
And if you have a very strong faith towards such a guru,
强烈的信心，
if you have a very strong faith toward your lineage root guru,
以金刚持不二，这个时候呢，你
Then
把它视成
you view the lineage root guru as the Vajra holder, which is Vajrasattva.
你把你的根本上是看成金刚
So you treat your lineage root guru as Vajrasattva.
跟金刚萨埵是无二无别，它就是金刚萨
So the merciful guru and Vajrasattva are completely the
金
same,
刚持尊者就是金刚
that he is Vajrasattva, which is also the Vajra holder.
华叶轮座上，
And one prays to the five-colored light screen on top of the lotus throne.
物色光
So the lineage root guru is sitting amidst the five-colored
的
light,
莲华座上面，
and on top of
这一种
the
金刚
lotus throne,
金刚萨
with the
埵
moon
就是
disk.
坐在叶轮上，
the same with the Vajra holder, Vajrasattva, seated on top of the lotus, the moon disk
这个时
on the
候
lotus,
当
radiating five-colored light.
要把
As the disciple,
上师
in the daytime, you should place your lineage root guru on top of your head.
做的就是你的上师，
On top of your head,
晚上睡
your
觉的
lineage
时
root
候
guru is
上师
seated
在
there.
你的
And
心
at night, when you sleep, your lineage root guru is inside your heart.
在你的心，
You think of your guru and place him inside your heart.
白天的时候就
And in the daytime, you place him on top of your head.
也就是记足信心，
That's extraordinary faith in the lineage root guru. That you have complete and strong faith in your lineage root guru. This is what it meant here. And this is abiding by the samaya between you and the lineage root guru.
这一段的意思，这样大家了解吗？
So this is the meaning of this excerpt. Now you understand, it's very clear.
对上师的恭敬，
So the respect toward your lineage root
还
guru,
有因为他已经走过路，
because he has walked the spiritual cultivation path, and he has been in union with the yidam.
像我一样，
Like
我每天要跟我
myself,
的上师
every day I have to be in union with my
合一的
gurus.
那一种接受，
And the feeling, the spiritual experience, the joy and happiness that you experience from the spiritual union cannot be put
你的
into
本尊
words.
进到你身体，
When your yidam enters into your body, when you enters into the heart of the yidam, and when the two of you are in union, that kind of spiritual feeling is beyond words,
讲不出来。
cannot be described.
那么根本上师也是在利益众生，
So the lineage root guru also benefiting sentient beings
放在你清净的
because he has placed the Dharma milk
人就是一个法
into your clean Dharma vessel, which is
人
you.
就是一个法器，
As a human being, we are like a Dharma
是一
vessel,
个装着，像一个
like
杯
a
子一
vessel,
样
a container, like a
里面
glass.
最干净的。
And when it's
宇
clean,
宙之间的法流进到
then
杯
the
子里
Dharma
面
flow of the universe
你就
enters into this vessel or container.
上师也是
Then
一
you
样，
would be filled with the Dharma
两位
flow.
本尊
The same with the lineage root guru and the Buddhas and
就
Bodhisattvas.
好像你装
When the
满
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas enter into your heart, then you would be like being filled with the Dharma flow of the Buddhas and
所以
Bodhisattvas.
他能够利益所有的众生。
Therefore, he is able to benefit all sentient beings. The first class is Chinese.
有钱
The teacher
任
asked Xiao
性
Ming,
的下联是什么？
what is the next verse of having money
没有
and
就认命。老师写的非常对。
if you have no money, then you
古代的
succumb
女
to your
人为
faith.
什么绑着脚？那是中国古代的女人。
And the teacher asked why the ladies of the ancient China
古代
bind
的
their
女人
feet.
为什么把脚绑起来？小明回答。
And Xiao Ming replied,
怕他们逛街乱花钱。
because they don't want them to go shopping.
那为什么现在不绑脚？
And the teacher asked again, but how about now? They don't bind their feet anymore.
有网
And Xiao Ming replied, because now you can
匹配，
buy online
匹配就是
and
不
deliveries.
用再绑脚。
That's why you don't have to bind your feet anymore.
老师对小明说：“来来来，换你讲课。
And the teacher asked Xiao Ming to teach the class instead. ”
这里有一个笑话。
This is another joke.
非洲的一个女生，她来
A
厦
woman,
旅游
an African
一
woman,
间宾馆，
tour in Xiamen and went
女
in
生呢
and stayed at a hotel,
就很快的
and there was a fire at night,
消防员
and the African woman did not wear anything but ran out,
她讲的是台湾话，
and the fireman
见夕阳
was very shocked.
烧焦了，还跑得这么快。
Oh my God, so scary that she's burned so bad that yet she still ran so fast.
颜色的差别，
But actually, that's due to the color. Let me ask this question. What color clothes would make us look thinner? Black, right? We all know that. But someone answered,
你找几个胖子跟你走，你就
Oh.
会变得比较瘦。
Then if you walk together with people fatter than you are,
会经
then you would look skinny.
经常喜欢
Master Hui
这样
Jin
子，
often
你喜欢跟谁走在一起？
often loves to walk with who?
哪一位？哦，对对对，他还会煮菜。你真
She's good at cooking. So, standing next to her, you look much skinnier.
对，叫几个胖子哦，站你旁边你就会变瘦。
So you would look thinner if there are
里面也有说，这个叫做
heavier people around you. So in Buddhism, this is called pramana by comparison.
叫做比较。
So measurement or logic by comparison. It is part of the logic studies of Buddhism.
是
There are several studies in Buddhism.
内明，
One is the inner study,
叫做内，
that's Buddhism.
往自己的心里探讨的叫做内明。
So when you look inside, that's called the
一方面是讲医学的，
inner sciences. And then the medical,
学方面，
the medical
一个是工
learning, and then the arts and crafts learning.
这个好像基数的，像你学电脑，
So like skills, like when you learn computer
盖房
or building
都
houses,
是属于工匠。
those are considered as part of this learning. So the inner learning, medical learning,
英明就是语
and
言，
arts and crafts learning, and then the
你
language
懂得很多国家的
learning, that you understand lots of different languages.
Japanese language，
You can speak Japanese,
那个西班牙、
Spanish,
或者讲这个 French，
or French,
这个
or
学习
Dutch.
那个是生命。
If you study this, then that's the learning of language.
另外还有一种叫做这个英明，
And then the learning of logic,
刚刚讲的比量，
like
逻辑，
the comparison,
佛教也
that's
讲
considered logic.
叫做五明，佛教讲
So in Buddhism, we talk about this Panchavidya.
小孩子的话，你不要太听，
Don't listen to the words of
你
a
更
child.
认
Why?
真认真听，
If you are seriously listening to a child's talk, then you would lose.
这样对不对啊？
Is that right?
不能太听小孩子的话，
Don't be too serious about a child's
小孩子
talk,
的思想大概还不够成熟，
because children think their own way. They're immature.
长辈的话，你
But
跟他
the
认真的
words
话，
of your seniors, if you're serious about it, then you would be that would be
会
tiresome.
觉得很累。女人的话，你如果不认真听，那你就死定了。
But if you don't listen carefully to the words of a woman, then you would be dead.
英明
So that's the learning of logic.
属于英明，就是属于逻辑的。那我们谈到这个道果，或者是发生大事，
Talking about Lamdre or Padmasambhava,
内明
that's considered the
是属于研究佛学的。
inner learning or the spirituality of Buddhism.
你要学习佛法，
It's actually very simple. In order to
你一定
study
要去除
or in order to practice Buddhism, you want to live a pure life, you have to eradicate your own greed, anger or hatred, and your ignorance or delusion. You have to purify them. And in order to eradicate your greed, anger, and delusion, and how do you know that you have to do so? That's due to the teaching or instruction of a good guru, that you have to eradicate them, and you know how to eradicate them. So in Tantrayana, there are many good Dharma practices in order to eradicate your greed, anger, and delusion. And what are the reasons that we have to eradicate anger, greed, and delusion? Because those things would create karma. Therefore, we can only create good karma. We should not create bad karma. Once you accumulate resources and merits and virtues, then you have your merits of your resources. Then you would encounter a good guru that would teach you that in the future you would be able to have attainments. That's all for tonight. Om Mani Padme Hum. We are very grateful to His Holiness Precious Dharma teachings, and we have several announcements. Tomorrow on July 28th, Sunday at 3 p.m., His Holiness will be at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington, to preside over Guru Gule Homa fire offering ceremony and confer the corresponding empowerments. And there would be direct webcasts in both Chinese and English. For details, please check dbsn.org. Before Homa, at 1:30, at the Homa Hall, there would be the book reading of Grandmaster's book number 163, Crossing the Ocean of Life and Death. And the book will be read by Vajramaster Si Lianqin. There's also direct webcast in both Chinese and English. For details, please check tbboye.org. And the annual Bardo Grand Ceremony will be held on August 24th, 2019, Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Madden Bauer Center in Bellevue, Washington. For the first time, His Holiness will transmit the Buddha Dharma practices, and the fifth instruction of Milarepa Yoga, and confer the corresponding empowerments. The sponsorships for the ceremony this year will be organized by Seng Yen Lu Foundation. Each primary supplicant can submit $888 to the Seng Yen Lu Foundation and send your registration materials to them. The True Buddha Foundation organized the Conference for Dharma Propagators on August 26 and August 27, Monday and Tuesday at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington. We are inviting all the Dharma propagators to join and register and join this marvelous event. For details, please check dbsn.org, or you can also contact Reverend Lian Tong and Lian Yo. On September 1st, Sunday, in the morning, His Holiness will perform the Life Foundation ritual at the Rainbow Temple of Sengji. And you may send the Sengji items to the Rainbow Temple beforehand, which includes hair, nails, and a drop of blood on your piece of cloth. And now we'll be incanting Buddha Amitabha.
请新皈依者到坛城前。
We're inviting any of
恭请法
you
王圣
who
尊
would like to
莲
take
生活佛
refuge
为新皈
in
依者
His
做
Holiness
皈
Living
依
Buddha
灌
Lian
顶。
Sheng and follow the spiritual cultivation of True Buddha School, to please come forward to the center of the temple hall and personally receive refuge initiation from His Holiness. If you're not present in person and would like to take refuge, you may also send a letter to True Buddha Foundation. Please clasp your palms, open your palms to receive the water, to receive the holy water, and then drink the water and pour it over your head.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛加持大
Now
悲
we're
咒水
inviting His
即为
Holiness to
佛
bless the
像
great
开光。
compassion holy water and to consecrate Buddha images. Stand up
大家请
and
做
take
大
positions.
礼拜，根本传承上师及诸佛。Om Ah Hom。观。二拜诸菩萨。Om Ah Hom。三拜诸护法金刚。Om Ah Hom。 次平等一起手，同修会圆满吉祥结束了。感谢根本传承上师的大加持，感谢师母仁波切、诸位上师、教授师、法师、讲师、助教、贵宾、同门善信大德的护持，谢谢大家，阿弥陀佛。We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you for viewing. 同修完后呢，师尊会给大家摸顶，请大家。